Hello, dear friends. Enjoy the last taste of the global secas. Axios 4b. Opinion piece. Critical moment. Pressure cooker. Multipolar coalition. Threshold of a new life. Collier reveals cosmic intervention. Fallen civilisations and interstellar DNA. Tartaria, free energy and human protection. Let's start. After years of waiting, a decisive moment has been reached, and we are invited to understand what is about to happen according to Ariel, who describes the current moment as critical, like a pressure cooker and a battle for survival. He adds that many people have been lost along the way, but now we find ourselves on the threshold of a new life, with what is undeniably happening. We are at a critical moment and in a pressure cooker. We are in a battle for our survival. Fulfill your goals and keep your promises to others. Everything will align in our favor to uncover what has been hidden. We have so much to look forward to. People are more nervous than ever, and we have been given the opportunity to change history, with everything in our favor. Remember that most didn't think we'd get this far, but we're still standing, even though our health, strength, skills, and patience has been tested. Everything will align in our favor along the way, revealing what has been hidden, and there is so much to look forward to. We have given the opportunity to change history, and now the conditions are favorable. We have waited years to reach this moment. We have lost many people along the way, and now we stand on the threshold of a new life. Are you ready to take this leap into the future and regain control of your life? Have faith in the divine plan. Transformation. The world is about to change through the silent transformation of its communications and financial infrastructure, according to Tirunayai. What appeared to be random accidents are part of a coordinated process to deactivate the old system. While the public witnesses summits, storms, and confrontations, the operation unfolds beneath the surface. Natural phenomena, blackouts, and airline technical failures are portrayed as operational cover to justify evacuations, infrastructure changes, and airspace restrictions, all aimed at replacing financial control and building the infrastructure for a multipolar world. In drills, disasters, and summits, they are removing the wiring of the old gut and splicing the backbone of the new system. The purge isn't about just leaders or banks. It's about the fundamental configuration of the planet to build infrastructure for a multipolar world. Bones. For decades, the global elite hid original gold-backed notes in secret vaults. Today, the lock has been broken. Kings, emperors, and war treasures issued bonds backed by metal, not ink. From Imperial China, the dragon bonds, German pre-war debt pledges, Pacific victory notes, and paid, all of them are legal under international law. The Bretton Woods cartel transformed the world with printed money and backed by assets. Had they honored the real bonds, the paper empire would have collapsed in an instant. That's why the cartel erased the records and hid the discredited holders. The holders are fighting back today. Royal families, tribal councils, sovereign trusts and guardians are offering original works for their redemption. The documentation is being scrutinized. Central banks cannot stop time. Chain reaction. Once even a small amount is paid, the lie of debt bandage crumbles. The price of gold skyrockets, and fiat currency melts away. Governments must once again show the world their balance sheets. Large humanitarian funds derive their power from real value, not fictitious money. Scammers sell digital files with no history. If a document has no seal or living witness, it's worthless. Historical bonds are like nuclear bombs aimed at the heart of the deep state's banking network. Redemption signifies the end of central bank rule and the beginning of a people-run economy. When the first payment is made, the curtain will rise, and the greatest transfer of wealth in history will begin. The truth coming to light is unstoppable. The cattle is in trouble. The vault doors are opening. The information blackout we are witnessing right now is their last resort. If they cannot stop technology, they will try to prevent you from knowing it exists. The king has changed places. The boat trembles. The pieces realign. A new strategy unfolds, and nothing will ever be the same according to Axios 4b. In a speech delivered on Wednesday, President Trump declared a nationwide lockdown across the US, citing a grave threat to national security. Anti-gravity. A NASA scientist claims to have built an anti-gravity system. Dr. Charles Baller claims his company has developed an anti-gravity propulsion system that uses electric fields, achieving contrast thus to lift devices against Earth's gravity, something reminiscent of UFO technology. Baller spent years running NASA's electrostatics lab. Now his private company claims to have created a gravity-defying propulsion system using only electricity, no fuel, no exhaust, no rockets, just electric fields that create constant thrust. They conducted nearly 2,000 tests inside vacuum chambers. The force manifested itself time and time again. In some tests, it even continued pushing after the power was turned off. By 2023, the thrust was strong enough to lift the entire test device against Earth's gravity. If this works, it will closely resemble the silent, fuel-free flights that people have reported about UFOs for decades. Intervention. Alex Collier claims that visitors from the stars have been on Earth for thousands of years, resemble human beings, integrate into the population, and their purpose is to raise humanity's frequency. He explains that Earth entered a dark period due to external forces that generated fear and lowered humanity's frequency. In response, beings with boots on the ground arrived to stabilize the situation, offer opinions, and transmit teachings of philosophy, consciousness, mind, courage, and passion. Teachings that previous civilizations did not receive and which led to their collapse. He points out that there are many ruins of civilizations that lost their original intention to evolve, expand consciousness, and care for one another to the point of self-destruction. In his view, humanity possesses a unique mix of DNA and cosmic racial memories derived from interbreeding prior to Atlantis, primarily with Earth women. Why did the extraterrestrials cohabit with women? Because they were men and that's beyond repair. Collier joked. By remaining and forming families, these star beings maintain their full consciousness and understand the human process of enslavement to the matrix and the cycle of reincarnation with memory erasure. According to Collier, his presence has protected humanity from a very dark force for many lifetimes, and this information is now resurfacing because humanity is on the threshold of expanding consciousness toward a higher frequency. He describes the Tartarian civilization as technologically very advanced, up to 400 years ahead, which used ether energy through towers similar to Tesla's, but was destroyed by a great mud flood. After the cataclysm, children emerged from hibernation tanks to repopulate, and history was rewritten. Collier mentions that Tesla managed to illuminate homes tens of kilometers away with a single tower in Colorado Springs, using free energy, a project that was halted due to commercial interests. He adds that there is currently talk of data centers that would obtain energy from the air, which would indicate that this technology is still present. First contact. Around the world, more people are looking to the sky and wondering what's happening, according to Craig Woods. Sightings are on the rise. Experiences are becoming more personal. People who previously considered ET contact impossible are beginning to encounter phenomena that defy the limits of their perception. This is part of a gradual preparation for disclosure. A collective contact would represent a transcendental shift in humanity's understanding of reality. It would not only reveal the existence of other civilizations, but also transform our perception of consciousness, history, spirituality, and our relationship with the cosmos. For this reason, preparation must precede disclosure. Before contact becomes collective, it becomes individual. Some will experience unusual lights or sightings in the sky. Others might have vivid dreams, synchronicities, meditative experiences, or intuitive impressions that they will interpret as contact. Still others will simply feel a certainty that life extends far beyond the limits of Earth. Whatever the form people embrace these experiences, humanity is becoming increasingly comfortable with the possibility that we are not alone. The veil is thinning because human consciousness is expanding. Therefore, revelation is not limited to information disseminated by governments. True revelation occurs within one's own consciousness. It happens when humanity becomes capable of facing something previously considered impossible without reacting with fear. This is why individual encounters are so important. Every human being who experiences contact with beings from other worlds and calmly integrates it becomes another bridge between the familiar world and cosmic reality. Every sighting that inspires awe rather than fear helps break down generations from prejudices about extraterrestrial life. Eventually, a threshold will be reached when enough people are ready and what has occurred privately can begin to develop collectively. The skies will become increasingly difficult to ignore. The experiences will become widespread. Conversations that were once relegated to the margins of society will now occupy a central place in human consciousness. And don't obsess over predicting the exact moment of contact, which could be in 2027. Instead, prepare your consciousness, cultivate discernment, free yourself from fear, and expand your awareness beyond the limits of what you previously thought possible. Humanity is approaching a new relationship with the cosmos. Contact is accelerating, and so are you. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.